Hello, hello, hello. Hey, look at something new. I'm on a little early. I've got a circle. I'm in a circle. It's like I'm in a tunnel in my craft room. Uh, everybody's joining. Hello, hello. Sylvia, Wilma, Ivor, Jose, Leslie, Tina. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Um, yeah, I've got a little something different going on today. Sylvia, Toril, Chan, Rebecca, Robin, Sandra. There's Renee and Petra's here. Yvonne, Angelique. Hello, hello, Dimpa. Hello, Mary's here. Nelike. Hope I got that right. Joe is here. Anne is here. Candace, hello. Hi, Karen. Cute hair. Thank you. Yeah, my hair is getting shorter and shorter, isn't it? Maybe soon I'll be twins with Els. We'll see. Thank you, Tina. Anky's here. Thank you, Pat. Catherine is here from Massachusetts. Hey, Catherine. Good to see you here. Kathy Carpenter is here. Kathy Carpenter is down in Florida. Am I right? And you saw Els, right? There's Tiffany. Hey, Tiff. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and share as always for a chance to be entered. Thanks, Tiff, for the $50 gift certificate, which will be drawn on Monday. And I think Elle said that she was going to be back. Hey, Terry, Gayla. Oh my gosh, the names are flying by. Belinda's here. Lillian. Wonderful, wonderful. Deborah, hi. Marlene. Yeah. Hello, everybody. So, how do we like my new circle thingy here? I have Angelica to thank for this. Angelica Turner with the florals. Um, we had a chat, kind of a long chat, and trying to get her on board with doing her own live soon. And there she is. Hey. Um, so, Angelica is so sharp that before I could even really help her very much with, Stream Deck, OBS, all this stuff, she kind of had it figured out, and she showed me hers, and she had all these cool things like this. Like she had a rounded cornered box with her little face in there, and I was like, "How'd you do that?" So she was teaching me things, and I was helping her with things. So it was really nice. Thank you, Lorianne. Teresa is here. Thank you, thank you. Yes, don't forget, like, comment, and share. Awesome. All right, well, we shall get started. I am going to do the little shared screen thing from time to time. Let's see how that looks. That's new too. See, I'm still in my little circle, but I got my table here. Yes, it is nice to help each other, and the florals are awesome. Yeah, really, really fun. I don't even have all of them. I should have just ordered all of them, but I didn't. Els sometimes says, "Don't order things, I'll send them to you." But, she was in the Netherlands and busy, so I just ordered like a handful of things. Now I wish I ordered it all. Aren't we all like that? Um, yeah, so, I want the mini florals. Thank you, Waldo. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's fun. It's nice because it's getting warm here. It's a little easy to take care of. Katrina is here. Hello. Okay, so today's live, I was thinking, I had this idea earlier in the week, and you may have seen a little teaser where I wanted to take some of my favorite papers. This one in particular is probably my favorite out of the Harmonious Hodgepodge collection. I know we probably all have a little favorite one in here, but this one, because there's a lot of these flowers in here, and they're pretty, and they're not like literal, they're kind of loose, kind of like almost like an old-fashioned wallpaper, which is why I like them from the beginning. So I got to thinking like, okay, that's great and flat on a card base, but wouldn't it be nice to like try to mimic those flowers and add to the paper on a card and really kind of bring them to life? So that's how this got started. Elle saw a little teaser. on my story on Instagram and said, oh, would you please do that for the live? So that's how all this came to happen. So you can see from this sheet of paper, I'm going to show you the card I finish, and then we're going to make a new one. So these are the two sections that I took out of this paper to make each of these cards I'll show you. But as you can see from some of the other papers, there's some other flowers in here that would be really fun to use and do the same kind of technique, as you'll see. I have a little chunk out of this one, but this would be a great one as well to add to, or even up here. And of course, these lilies, this is another one of my favorites. So what I did right before the live is I grabbed a couple of dies to kind of get an idea of, like, if you did use some of these other papers, what would you maybe use? And so this one, we don't really have like a lily die, but I looked back, way back, Florals 14. I'm thinking I could make that work. Maybe somebody's done a lily. In fact, I think it was Karen Gerber did some tiger lilies once. And maybe if she's here, maybe she'll say, but I think she used the Florals 14. I don't remember. But that would work well, maybe. And then if you did this one, perhaps, these are like, they look like carnations to me. I don't know my flowers very well, so I apologize for that. I lost the comments. Okay, here we go. Awesome. All right. So yeah, this one here, I would say there's a couple of different dies, some really old, like Florals 1, I think. You could make that into a small carnation. It's got those kind of wavy edges. Florals 11 definitely has that, you know, the wavy edged petals. I think if you did a whole bunch of those and squished them, it could look like a carnation. And then, of course, in the newer ones, Florals 25, I think that could work, don't you guys? So that would be fun for that paper. And then this paper, I think, you know, Florals 7, of course. You could make more of these, I guess, daisies, right? With that one. That's an old one. This is a newer one, Wildflower 2 from Angelica. That would work. So like even on this card that I made, a Mother's Day card, it has those fussy cut in the back, but I could see making more like three-dimensional ones and kind of small and adding them to the top of this card. So just ideas, different ideas. Okay, what are y'all saying? All I'm seeing is the pinned comment from ECD here. Okay. Paula, David, thanks, David. Thank you, thank you. There's Else is here. Okay, creative freedom with these gorgeous florals from us. Yes, indeedy. David, are you still traveling? Are you in Egypt? Is that what Else told me? That you were in Egypt. I'm just looking. New comments are flowing in. Okay, I got to get rid of the pinned comment. There we go. There's Ellen. There's Anita. Hello, hello. Okay, let's get started because you know me, I tend to go long. So this is the card that I initially was making, and it's good. It's okay. I think I can do better, and that's what we're going to do now, because I feel like I was trying to kind of mimic these flowers, but I just went like super hot pink. And so we're going to do this over, maybe just a little bit different layout to it. And as you can see here, I've already started, but we have this one instead. So a little bit different background for the card base. And then even a different portion of the paper like I showed you. So there's no florals up here like that other one. So I think that's where I'm just going to put my sentiment up there in the corner. Let's see. I see people saying safe travels. Leaving tomorrow. Okay, that's David. Okay, yes, be careful. Have fun. All right, so we're going to make this one. And so I had to do just a little creative stuff to the actual flower itself. And so the flower die that I used was the new Florals 28. Looks like this. And because I was looking at the flowers on the paper, and they're a 4-petal flower. And I think, because I think Belinda told me this, I can blame her if I'm wrong, that those are dogwoods in the paper. Yeah, I think that's right. Thank you, Jackie. Everybody likes my hair. Thank you. Okay, so what I did to make a little bit of an adjustment to the flower, because if you look at these dogwoods and I don't know, real dogwoods, they seem to have like a little notch out of the petal. So that is what I did here. Let's see, can you see that? So I took my little crocodile and I just notched out each petal to kind of try to mimic that as close as I could. You know, I'm not really out for an exact match, you know, a perfect match, but like on these bigger ones, I just thought, you know, what's worth to do that little step to make it even more like what it looks like in the paper. So I just kind of nip off a little bit. On the bigger flowers, I'm using the bigger hole of the crocodile. And on the smaller flowers, I use the smaller hole. So let's see, I need one more here. And these are all die cut from the soft finish white, of course. Okay. So let's color a few, and you can see I have a bunch done because it does take a little bit of time. So I have about 5 or 6 finished, but I'll do a couple just to kind of demo what I did and what I used. So I got a bunch of pinks here, and I got some little brushy things. And let's see. Thank you, Anya. Yeah, I just thought it was something different and fun, and you can do this with any paper that has a floral in the background. I think that would be fun to just kind of challenge yourself to try that. Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. So I don't want to lose my comments here. All right. So what I did is I grabbed, this is Victorian Velvet. These are all oxides. Victorian Velvet, Kitsch Flamingo, and Lumberjack Plaid. So you notice it's a progression of light to dark, right? And we'll just get these uncapped. I do have wild honey over there for the centers, so we won't forget that. And then we'll do a couple leaves too. So get those ready. And if you look at the paper, if you look at those flowers, they're not like perfect, right? There's a little bit of dark in there, and there's brush strokes of white, there's pink, you know, so that's exactly how I'm going to approach this. I'm actually going to switch those because I feel like Victorian Velvet is the medium color. So what I would just do is just start sweeping color. No, this is great for me because I am not exact when it comes to these things. I'm not great at getting precisely the perfect flower look. So for it to be loose and random, that's perfect for me. So you see, I'm not coloring them in all the way with this color. And I'll hold these up a little closer as soon as I get a few done. And there's no rhyme or reason. You see, I just globbed color on that lightest pink. Okay, so we see that. Okay, now we'll go with our Victorian Velvet and maybe hit a few other places. And you can sweep out, you can do it in the middle, it doesn't matter. That's the beauty. And we'll just do the same thing to each one. What brand are those? Oh, nice brushes. Oh, okay, these are Waffle Flower shaders. They're pretty awesome, I have to say. I've tried the little daubers, I've tried all kinds of different ones, and I really do like them. Probably need to get more because, you know, you got 2 ends, but then you got a million colors. So, okay, now I'm going to grab a little bit of Lumberjack Plaid, and you got to be a little careful because it is bright. So I'm just going to hit it here and there, but not super heavy. And again, I'll pick it up. Ooh, pick it up and show you. If it's too dark in a place like that, you can always go back with one of your pinks and just kind of smooth that out. It does kind of tend to fill it in a little bit when you do that, but this is what I'm after. You know, I'm not coloring in all the white. Yeah, the brushes are pretty cool, Tiff. They're nice. Okay, so of course with oxides, you do have to let them dry a bit. So I'm going to push those flowers out of the way because that color is a little creamy. So it takes a bit. So let's do just a couple of little centers. Now, on my first card, I used these little centers, and these are from Wildflower 3. Now, I didn't really need to use those, and I decided to switch on these, but you can see the difference on this one here. That's this little guy. And so what I did is I just took my little snippers, my little Elizabeth Craft design snipper scissors, whatever we call these, and I actually snipped each one of those little points so that I had more. So when I spun it and, you know, twirled it and stuff, it became very full in there. And then, of course, I put frills inside. Okay, that's one way you can do it. But I thought on this one, I would do it a little different. And I would just use this one, which is from, let's see, this is from Wildflower 4, this little guy right here, which kind of looks like, you know, the picture of the florals there. So that's where my wild honey comes in. And now I'm using one of these. I don't care for these, I'll tell you, but you know, they are small. I believe these are from Ranger. So it gets a little, you know, tighter place like that. If you just want to get in a small little place. Sometimes I use those little makeup applicator thingies like this. Those work well too. But I just happened to order some of those. I wanted to give them a try. So that's all I would do to these little guys. It's just a little bit in the center. And then, of course, you stir them and cup them and make a little center like that. And then when you put them in your flower, then you can fill them up with prills. And I'll show you all the prills I've got over here. Okay, so let's do some leaves. And you may notice my table looks a little different here. I have like a silicone mat that I just got. All right, once again, we're going to go lighter to darker. And I think I want to start with Rustic Wilderness, and then I'll go to Pine Needles. Actually, Pine Needles, Rustic Wilderness, and Forest Moss for the leaves. Does it have to be 3 colors? No, not really. But, you know, I'm playing, so why not? All right, again, I will use one of these little guys. And we'll start with Pine Needles, and I just kind of did a whole lot. I didn't leave any white on the leaves. You could. I just kept these nice and dark. Now, does it have to be super even and heavy? No. We'll do both of these with the Pine Needles first. And then we'll work into darker colors. Yeah, Els, I saw your wonderful organization of your oxides. We need to know more about that, so maybe when you do the live next Monday, you can actually show us. I think I understand it. It looks like you have them in a tin on a table or on a cart, and in the tin you did some cardstock divider situation. I think I got that right. Okay, so that second color, that was Rustic Wilderness. And then for my darkest color, I am going to use one of these little makeup applicator thingies. And I'm going to just dip it into this forest moss to add a little bit more depth. Kind of up through the spine, vein, down the stem, a little bit of the base of the flower. Okay, so now it doesn't look totally flat and solid. It looks kind of variegated in its color. I do see my other ones here are much more deep and dark with the pine needles. So I'm going to do that because that's what matches the paper better. So we will do a little more forest moss in just a second, but I'm going to go back and add a little more pine needles. And then we'll just skip right to the forest moss. How's everybody doing? There's Carol. Thank you. The brushes, Russ Witha. The brushes are from Waffle Flower. There's different types. So these are called Shader 1. So pay attention if you go to buy them from your local store or wherever. There are different styles. And so I don't really know what that is. It might be the angle of the brush or the length of the bristles. So just be careful if you're going to buy those. Check that out. Okay. Everything's prepped. Now we're going to shape. So let me grab my little pad here. And this couldn't be simpler. Now, we've done flower making videos before, and we talked about the golf tool. That's what this thing is. And I think it's from Dress My Craft. I'm not 100% sure. Perhaps your local scrapbook stores carry it. Not sure, but it is pretty great. And I have surgical tape, or whatever you call this. You know that tape that they put on you after you get your blood drawn or whatever? Because it's spongy and it makes it much more comfortable on my hands than touching this hard metal all the time. Because you have to rake it a lot and use your hands a lot. But there are these little teeth in this tool that are wonderful for making these grooves and these flowers. So to do our little dogwoods, I would just pull from the edge of each petal to the center. Easy enough, right? And you can see that it's putting little lines in the petal, and I'll hold it up, but it also is cupping the flower at the same time. And you notice I'm not holding onto the flower, because when you start doing that, then the flower stays flat. It doesn't want to curve. So don't fight it. Let it do its thing. All right, so I'll quickly do one more here. We'll put these together. See, I had my hand there and it wasn't curling. Yeah, the golf tool is pretty great, huh, David? I don't know how we did it before this. I think we did Sizzix back in the day when there was first a flower making tool set. It had like I used to call it the scary dental tool. Because it was something like this, but then it had like a pointy curved tip that wasn't like super sharp or anything, but it was something that you used to make veins in leaves and things like this, but you only had the one tip. So you had to do, that many, many times per petal instead of this tool kind of hitting, how many grooves are in here? At least 3 or 4. So it's efficient. It's a nice tool if you can get one. Yeah, I have put surgical tape on my my bone folder too, especially when I'm prepping for classes and doing a lot of scoring. Yep. All right, I got one more here. Do it real quick. And then we'll start building up our card while these dry. I got to glue them together. Okay, good. Now the leaves, you can use the golf tool as well. I would go a little lighter because really for me about the leaves is just kind of pinching and getting that vein down the middle to curve. And what I mean is stick your little reverse tweezer in there and pinch just at the base. That's really what that's more about to me. But the golf tool does add some nice texture to the petal. Tape is called Koban. Koban? Okay. Are we in the medical field? Leslie? Does it matter what direction? I think I'm going to pull toward the stem. Just enough. Soften it up, curl it a little. Yep, don't forget, like, comment, and share. Golf tool, game changer. Yes, ma'am, Catherine. Absolutely. Okay, I think I have all my leaves ready. I've got all my flowers ready. Let's just do one of these. You know, if you're new, you may have never seen this, but some of us have been here a long time and we've watched a lot of flower shaping and we know about the stirring and the cupping. Just using a round ball stylus and just stirring it so it takes a shape like that. Easy peasy. I heard Elle say that the other day. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I think she said it right. I hope so. Okay, there's that. All right, let's put these together. I've got two more other little quick projects to show you, so gotta make sure I have time. All right, I got my Kids' Choice glue. You use the ECD tweezer for the leaves. I like the curve in it. Yes, well, that's awesome. Yeah, I could see that. Sure. All right, so I'm going to glue a couple of these together, set them aside while we build our card. And I don't, you know, when I do this little dogwood, if you look at them, they're not a layered flower at all, but I wanted them to have a little more body to them. So as you can see, I'm not like staggering in between the petals like we normally would, like having the petals in between the petals before it. I'm just sort of slightly putting it offset just to make it just look like a fuller flower, but not, you know, all fanned out flower. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay, and while I have my glue and I got these little guys, put a couple of those in there. The Kids' Choice glue is great for this because it grabs so quick. And I sometimes forget I even have it, but it's right here in front of me, so I don't know why I forget, but it's pretty awesome. Okay, dogwoods are beautiful, aren't they? Yeah, Kids' Choice. Kids' Choice. Do we still carry this else? Is it still on the website? I did not check before we started. It's by Beacon. Beacon makes Fabri-Tac, 3-in-1, all those favorite glues that we know. And it's like a super thick tacky glue. It's really nice. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit more liquid glue now. This is Art Glitter Glue. And I'm gonna put a little puddle in here. That's for my frills. It's a little easier to control, you know, how much you put in there by using something a little more liquid than the thicker Kids' Choice glue. Who said that? Let's see. Oh, y'all are, if y'all talking Dutch, I can't even get involved. Okay, pearls, here they are. So I have a bunch of these, of course. Had to buy a whole bunch of colors, and I've had them for probably 8 years, 5 years, I don't know, long time. So I've just picked this bright yellow one, and I got my little Nouveau spoon, and I'm gonna try to pick some smaller ones, because you know, these are all a little bit different sized, and just kind of dump them in there and put those aside. You can use all kinds of different things in the center. You could just use a gem, you could use a sparkle, you could use Nouveau drops, whatever you have. I just have all those pearls, so I might as well use them. Okay, so those two are going to dry up there, and we will start to make our little card. Let's make sure. Are we in screen? Okay. Okay. Yeah, y'all are talking about the golf tool. That's all I can see in the Dutch. That's the only thing I can make out. How do you share the video? I believe it's just at the bottom of the video that you're watching, a little airplane or a little arrow thingy. Is that flower soft? No. I love that glue. It's way too expensive here in Canada. Oh, Diane, sorry to hear that. Okay, I think I want to put Thankful for You up here. Of course, this is my small doily. And one of my everyday words sets. I have 3 now, so I have it off to the side, but I can't remember off the top of my head which one thankful for you is. I think it's everyday words too. Okay. So we'll just pop that up there because it needs something up there. Is it straight? Yes. Okay, good, Carol. You got it figured out? Okay. On the phone, it's the arrow. Okay. Yeah, I forget some of y'all are watching on your phones and not on a computer like me. All right, so now we can just fill in here and there and everywhere, right? I think my kid's choice is still tacky. So we'll just pop one there. And maybe a little guy. We need a couple of little ones here. And maybe one more of these over here. And one more. Now, some of these really little guys, I didn't even do that, you know, this little center thing. I just poured the pearls in there. Because why not? Let's see. We'll put this one over here. Because we have leaves we have to add in here. I didn't do the back side, and normally I would, but just for sake of time, I did not. Thank you very much, y'all. In the US, you type golf flower shaping tool on Amazon. Yes, I believe that will get you one. Let's see, I think I want to use a little Q-tip here for this because there's just some skinny little places to put this glue. Okay. We'll do this one here. Usually I have a plan, kind of. But because I'm making it different than the card I already made, I'm just going to wing it here. And then maybe one of these up here. Why not? Thank you, Diane. Yeah, I just, I just had this idea. And I thought that would be fun to kind of challenge myself to make a flower to match the paper. Which, with Angelica's new Evening Rose paper, you could do the same thing like you've seen a lot of the samples. I did this little mini album, and I'm going to make a video this weekend on how to make the roses and something to cover the front of that also to match. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Okay, maybe I'll stick one right there. Kind of shove it under there. Okay, that's good. And I know that this is not completely dry, but I'm going to try anyway. I'm going to grab one of these flowers that we just made. The pearls are still drying in there, so we'll take care with that. And maybe up there we'll put another. And over here. Okay. That's all right, right? We can make something coming out over here. This is the part that's, I mean, it's super fun to make the flowers, of course, but to then kind of play around on placement and where you like them and try different things out, that's fun too. Lots of fun. Okay, and then I think I need to do one little one right there. I think. We might not use this one. You could snip it. Oh, maybe I'll do that. Okay. Just having a good time. I missed the beginning, but what did you color the leaf with? So I used 3 different shades of oxide inks. Diane, Pine Needles, Rustic Wilderness, and Forest Moss. That's for the leaves. And it really was a lot of the pine needles because of the color here in the leaves and the paper seem to be a little more, have a little more tealy kind of color to them like that. Okay, so I could cut this. I think I will. Pine needles. Oh, okay, you got the answer. Yeah. Yeah, Lois, pearls are great, aren't they? I love using them too. I want to find out where Rajni gets those stems, those green stems that she uses all the time on her flowers. She actually puts the stem up through the flower. And she did a beautiful tutorial kind of reel this morning. I saw it. I don't know when it was posted, but Rajni, of course, is on the florals design team. And she showed us how to put together the flower, the rose and the bud and everything. And it was just amazing. But she uses those stems, and I need to find out where I can get some. Let's see. Thank you, Angelica. So yeah, there's two completely different looking ones. This one I feel matches the paper a little bit better. This is a little hot pinkish, which is okay. But I do prefer the look of this a little bit better. Yes, Rajni does do amazing flowers. Amazing. I agree. Okay, so let's do something else. I've got something over here. Oh, okay. So there's this paper in my Harmonious Hodgepodge that I think people are a little bit afraid of. And it's this one. And this is one of my favorite ones. It's got the pink and the olive stripe on the back. Thank you very much, Barbara. So I think people aren't sure what to do with it, you know. So I thought we would talk about that paper, and then I'll show you what I did with it here in a second. So I did a little bit of playing around the last couple of days and tried a few different techniques just to see what would happen if we colored the paper. I think Els mentioned this early on when this first paper came out. She said, ooh, that'd be fun to color. So I did a couple of little samples to show you guys. Like if you just took some, this was with watercolor, you know, the basic ECD watercolor palette. And I just very quickly did a wash of light coloring, right? So I look at this and right away I say, this is could be pretty on anything, but this makes me feel like I could make a Christmas card background for that. This one makes me think of fall just by changing up the colors and using a little warmer, you know, kind of orangey gold colors. So that could be a wonderful Thanksgiving card. This could be an anytime card, you know, just some blues and teals just to be different. What did I do this for? This is very bright. Well, I guess just to show you. I think this was when I started doing some markering. And if you wanted to go really bold and bright, you could do that. Okay, so that's an idea. That's fun. But then I got to thinking like, oh, okay, well, you could take a colored one and then go one step further and you could emboss just certain areas if you wanted to, or all of it if you wanted to, really. But what I've done here is, I hope you can see the difference. This is very shiny. So I colored it with markers, I let it sit and dry, and then I used my little Ranger Distress embossing pen, and I colored over what I colored, right? And then I did clear embossing powder, and I just used, you know, Gina K, fine detail clear. It doesn't matter too much. Here, on the other hand, is Distress Emboss Glaze from Ranger, straight onto an uncolored flower. So that was, what's that one called? Tattered Rose? Yeah, in the glaze. And then this one was colored with marker. And then I used this, I've got this embossing powder that's like, it dries matte, clear matte. So it has a little bit of a shine. It's, I don't know if I'm a fan. I'm not sure what application I would use that for. So Anyway, you can definitely use it this way. And if you recall, there are some beautiful things that were made by the team. And this was by Rihanna. She showed us how to make it again with different paper. But she used that paper there. I've got it worked into the back of a tag here, of course. And then I'll pop a picture up. You won't hear my voice for a second. That was a Mother's Day card I made for my mom. So that's why I don't have it to show you. Okay, so let's go with this little project that I had started here. And that is Angelica's new box die, which is this one here, the 2123 Elegant Decorative Box. I love boxes. This is a favorite. Hey, Cindy, welcome, welcome. You're here. That's all that matters. And I have not been looking up at comments very often, so I'm scrolling back just very quickly. Yeah, the glazes are super nice. Somebody's going on vacation. They're saying, have a good vacation. Okay, well, I think that's a conversation with David. Thank you, Robin. So I love the box dies, always do, you know, just anything 3D like that. I adore. And this box is so easy. It's such a pretty, easy box to put together, and the size is great too. So I just use my paper and, of course, Angelica's die to make the box. I put a little decorative thingy on the front here. And then I colored the paper that's on there. So that's just a couple of basic water-based markers here, Tombows. 2 shades of pink and sort of an olivey green. Colored it in. And my little marker here I've got. So we'll just do this real quick. I've got the heat tool ready. And I would take this, of course. Now, this is something I would have done normally had I had this thought before I glued this paper onto the box. But I think we can do it. I think we can make this work. So we'll give it a go. Got my embossing powder ready. And I think I'm going to have to work in sections. We'll see. Because I don't know how quickly this dries. So I'm just going to color right over. And the beauty of this is you don't have to be super precise. It's just to add a little bit of sheen over the top. And we could just pick the roses. I think for time's sake, we're just going to do the roses. But you could color in all the leaves and do this on top of that. I think I'll just make those roses kind of pop. And not knowing how fast this dries, I'm just going to do about 3 at a time and add the powder. Over here. This powder is like fluffy. It's not sandy like typical, but it's very nice. Okay. I can see where I missed a little bit with the pen here. Entirely missed this spot. Okay. Let's see. Is this one bigger than the book box? Yes, I'm going to grab the book box. Just for a size comparison, that's a great question. It is a little bit bigger. It is not as deep. And of course, the drawer slides in and out of that one, and this one is just, you know, a hinged box. So there's that. I have china with that pattern. Well, that would be beautiful. The good thing about this Ranger embossing pen is I was afraid it was going to lift the marker color, and it's not doing that. Now, I'm not sure if you did it immediately after coloring it, if that would be different. This has sat overnight. I don't think it's necessary to sit overnight, but maybe the longer the better. That's why you experiment. I would not, you know, experiment right on the project like this. I would experiment on a scrap of that paper. Thank you, Linda. Everybody likes my haircut. Yeah, I have a good little hairdresser here. I'm very happy. She's all of like 20 years old. She's just out of high school. Just the sweetest thing. Courtney. Okay, I think that's all of it. You could go in there with a brush if you wanted. Take up a little bit of that extra. Okay, get that out of the way. Okay, cool. Thanks, Elle. Yeah, I still have some hair. That's pretty nice. So can you see a little bit of shine? It's very nice. All right, so we're going to decorate the front of this. I have a couple things ready. I'm not going to build this rose because that is something I'll do this weekend. It takes a little bit of time. It takes a hot glue gun. But I did make a big old rose, and I used Angelica's new Florals 27. Very different looking. It's very full than the one that Rajni does, but I loved the one that Rajni showed today. Like I said, if you can find her on Facebook, take a look. She does a little tutorial, like quick. But I used like 3 of each of the petals, and I really kind of built it up, and then I turned some this way and some out that way. Anyway, it's a lot of fun, and it's beautiful. Colored the leaves with some very dark greens, different shades of green. This time I used just Distress instead of the oxides. And then I did a little, of course, bee out of a wax seal there. And then I used my stamps and my dies. The dingbats and phrases and the circles, banners, and ribbons die. So It's Your Day, Friend is going to go in here. So let's see, we'll just pop this on here. I'll just put glue right on the back of this big rose, I think. And maybe we'll pop that up there. Now I should put the little tray back in there. It's because it gives it a little more stability. Okay. And I believe I want this right here with my seal. But before I glue it down, I want to put some of these leaves. I've got these beautiful leaves. And we'll just use some more of that Kids' Choice on a toothpick. What are y'all talking about? Something in the kitchen. Thanks, Lola. Yeah, if you're just kind of jumping in, don't forget to like, comment, and share. This is your last chance this week before they draw the winner for the $50 gift certificate on Monday. Okay, pop this one under here. Well, you can see that glue's not dry. That's all right. Get my hand under there and push that. There we go. So we could really tuck these under. And then this guy, I would tend to want to maybe cut it. How much time we got? Oh, we're good. Okay. Yes, isn't that box pretty? It's really a wonderful die. It's really fast and easy to put together too. That's why I love it. Not too fussy, you know? Let's see. Maybe here. We don't want too much. Okay, I could always put another. I'll play with it maybe later. but you're getting the idea. Let's put this on with this glue. Dorothy, welcome. You're just joining. That's good. Well, you can watch the replay because we got about 10 more minutes and we're done. Okay, so we have our little, I don't want to cover up too much of all that flower painting and stuff we did there. Let's put that there, and I think this here. Maybe we can move this down just a titch. You could make some little rose buds and add them around here. I just did one for now, but I think that would be really pretty. Let's see. What was the hot glue gun I just saw? Hot glue. I don't have a hot glue gun, but if you're talking about this is just a regular glue in my precision glue press from My Sweet Petunia. And it sits in a little stand, so you don't have to keep recapping it or trying to find your pin that you laid down or any of that. Okay, well, that's quick, but you get the idea. I would tend to want to do a little bit more to that. Like I said, maybe later I'll put another leaf there, but you see how that's jumping around. So that glue has not set. So that's maybe where hot glue would have been a better choice. So I'll come back to that, and I'll share a picture at the end, of course. All right, one more little quickie, because I feel like there's another paper in the collection that a lot of people aren't quite sure what to do with, and that's the one with the little doilies on the back. So what's on the other side of this one? Is it the rose, the big rose paper? I think it is. Thanks, Els. Thanks, Karen. Thank you so much, you guys. Thanks, Karen. Yeah. Margaret, thank you. Petra, thank you. Okay, so this one's going to come together very quickly and easily. So did I use the same? Let's see. This is 3 petals, but it's a little different. This is from Wildflowers 3, so a little older one, but I was looking for a small flower. And I do have the, tiny florals or whatever they're called, but I only have the one. I didn't have number 2, so I went to an older set. So I've got some already die cut out little tiny flowers out of this pretty blue paper. It's just cardstock that I have that matches this paper in the Harmonious Hodgepodge. And I cut a square from this guy. I put a couple of little enamel dots in there. And I'm just going to put this right here on my card, like so. The little doilies, I think you've seen, I've cut them out with a circle punch or one of the star kind of circles from my banners die set, circles, banners, and ribbons set. I've done different things like that, but to use the paper itself, I wanted to show that you can do that. It's sort of a grid pattern. It's kind of nice. Let's see. Okay, and so what I would do here is take my little flower. I got one of the little flower centers from the CS330 Flower Centers stamp set from Angelica. And I've got a little blue ink that kind of matches. It's a little darker than my cardstock. And so I just want to stamp that smallest little speckly center, okay? It's just a shade darker than the cardstock, which is nice, it's subtle. Okay. And so I've already done 9 of these, and I put them on my little cushion and I shaped them. So I got a whole bunch all ready to go, looking really cute. So I thought these would be cute just to put in the centers of all the little doilies to make a really simple but elegant kind of card. a little simpler, less detailed. So I would grab my little tweezer and just pop these all in the middle of these doilies. And you can turn them different ways each time you glue one in. However you like. If you want them all uniform, turning the same way, that would look nice too. I'm going to kind of switch it up, I think, a little differently. Thank you, Anita. Hey, Cindy is here. Hey, sister. Cindy's not my sister for real. Her and Tiffany are my sisters from another mister, as we say, right? My buddies. We were all on the crafty cruise together last time. We're going to be on the one next year in Alaska together. Cindy and Tiffany are real sisters. So I'm like the adopted kid, the stepchild. So fun. I'm looking forward to when Angelica does her own lives. Drinking buddies as well. That's right, Els. You know, she's seen us in action. She knows. Yeah, we had a cabin together at the Colorado retreat. Tiffany, Cindy, and I, and that was where we retired for the evening and had a good time. But we were next door neighbors with Els and Yosat and Yoop, so we couldn't get away with too much. They kind of knew. Okay, this is a leaf set. I will tell you from which it comes. And I just kept it in the soft finish white. I didn't color it. I just kind of shaped it a little, made that vein down the middle, just to keep it clean and pretty. So this comes from Floral Greenery 2, which I'm going to use this Baby's Breath on the front of that album over the weekend for sure. And so I stamped out sending a happy hello and used my little labels from my banners, circles, banners, and ribbons, die set. I got a little foam tape on the back so we can pop this on here really easy. And I would just put that, got a little stubborn guy sticking to my thumb. I might put that one down there. That guy. Okay. Cool. Soft finish paper today. Yeah, you will love it. It's like the go-to to making flowers. It's beautiful. It's easy to work with. It takes water and color built up, like a lot of it, really nicely. And so here we are with what we did today. I got 2 minutes left to say goodbye. I'll show my face again. Yeah, there we go. Love how you colored your designer favorite rose. Is lovely. Thank you, thank you. Your box died, just shipped today, Cindy. Okay, well, you'll have fun with that. It's awesome. So I'm going to go back to this little screen here that says we are live because it puts me in my little circle. Otherwise, you see the whole craft room in the back and, you know, in the upper part of my camera and all that stuff. So thank you, Els. Thank you, everybody. It went by like a flash this time. It always does. Thanks, Angelica. And thank you again for all your help, especially with this OBS. Thanks, Robin, Belinda. Thank you so much. All right, so Els will be here on Monday. And you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for watching.